In early 2024, I came across a video of Snoop Dogg chilling on a boat, living life. I shared it with my friend Tommy, and his response, "You're the living version of one of those posters in the principal's office." You know those motivational posters I'm referring to that say, "Dream big, make every day count. Nothing is impossible. Everyone has a chance to make a difference. Be kind, always." Be kind, two words that convey a powerful message. Kindness is defined as the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. I believe it is a language that is understood by all and breaks the barriers of race, religion, ethnicity, and social status. I'm sure you've heard stats and seen videos about kindness and how it impacts those around you, so I won't bore you with those. I've always been one to give back where and when I can, and I love to travel and explore this world and experience all the people, places, and things that make it so special. Having said that, I'd like to take you on a journey and the power of kindness through the lens of travel. In July 2022, a post from Myrna showed up in my social media feed. An outdoor influencer, she encourages women of all shapes, sizes, ethnicities, and backgrounds to dream big and do hard things. I've had the pleasure of joining Myrna on a couple of journeys, including riding through the Kenyan savannah and trail running in the Alps. Her joy, kindness, and zest for life is infectious. Along the way, I've made many friends on these trips, including Jenny. I met Jenny in September 2023, trail running through the Alps of France, Italy, and Switzerland. A doctor, doggy mom, and traveler, following our most recent trip to the Dolomites, she so perfectly stated why I travel, and I'd like to share that with you. Travel is a privilege. It's also an essential building block to living a full life and becoming a more well-rounded person. It allows us to look outside ourselves and reminds us of our common humanity. It decenters us as individuals and cements us as human beings on this chaotic, fragile planet that we call home. It also reminds us how lucky we are to reside where we do. I first would like to take us to Kenya. Colonized by the British, Kenya obtained their independence in 1963. As of 2023, approximately 2/3 of Kenyans were living in poverty, making less than $3.20 a day, or about $1,200 a year. During her studies, Jen saw the need to help the people of Kenya, specifically women in rural communities. This led her to found her nonprofit Zawadisha in 2011. Over the years, she's made many trips back and forth, one of which included a 70-plus day cycling trip across the country. This inspired her to create a shorter trip so others could experience that magic and understand why she is so passionate about helping Kenyan women. In July 2022, I was fortunate enough to be able to join this inaugural trip and joined a group of women and a few men on a journey into the unknown. This journey would take us by bike over 9 days from outside of Nairobi all the way to the coastal town of Diani on the Indian Ocean. We were supported by 2 vehicles, one that went in front that carried our camping gear and also set up meal stops, and a bus that followed behind in case we weren't able to ride. I was determined to ride every mile, and so I did, plus a few extra when we took a wrong turn on the last day. Riding through rural Kenya, you can tell people really do struggle sometimes. You might see them walking miles to get water, to go to school. Rural villages often consist of buildings that may have dirt floors and tin roofs that may or may not keep out the rain. Along the way, we camped many different places, including schools that required armed guards and also in the middle of a 30,000-acre sisal plantation that supported nearly 8,000 people. This was certainly a no-frills trip in the best way possible. On day 5, we rolled into Maungu and were greeted by the women of Zawadisha, singing, dancing, and with so much joy. While we were there, we learned how the nonprofit Zawadisha was helping to empower women and their families. Loans are provided for anything and everything, it seems. Solar, water catchment, plastic chairs, you name it. The women of Zawadisha showed us how they take the fibers from the sisal plant to weave baskets that they sell to help earn a living. The women also showed us how to make chapati, a naan-like treat made from water, flour, butter, and salt. During our visit, they also hand-washed our dirty riding clothes and hung them to dry with love and care. One girl in our group, proficient in sewing, was able to help them repair their sewing machine and give them some tips to help their sewing. The women were so thankful for us and told us we were strong. While riding through Kenya, it was apparent that the extreme drought conditions were severely impacting not only the people, but the animals. During our stay in the Conservancy, we witnessed many animals drinking from man-made watering holes, where they had also spread hay to help the animals survive. Without this assistance, many would have likely perished. In Swahili, Zawadisha means to give a gift. In all, I traveled about 340 miles over 7 days across a harsh and challenging landscape. This trip truly was a gift, and one that I will not soon forget. It was one of the most challenging, rewarding, and humbling experiences of my life to date. Thank you, or Asante, Kenya. I'd next like to take us to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is the southernmost island chain in the Grenadines, and was actually reached by Christopher Columbus in 1498. With a population of about 111,000, most descendants are from enslaved Africans brought by France and Great Britain, and they obtained their independence from the British Empire in 1979. And remember that video about Snoop Dogg chilling on a boat, living life? Well, I was able to do just that in May 2024 with Rhythm and Sails. Founded by Admiral Ashley, First Officer Damien, and with the assistance of Anders, the entertainment extraordinaire, this trip includes bluegrass musicians from various bands that provide amazing music and good vibes as we island hop in the Caribbean. This trip is not only made up of musicians, but artists, entrepreneurs, photographers, ordinary and not so ordinary people. And the purpose? To be present, enjoy Earth's natural beauty, and share in a unique experience. Our boat, which we called Best Boat, included some interesting characters. A TV personality for our captain, Captain Eddie. Our chef, a graphic designer, interestingly redesigned the logo for Igloo coolers. On our longest sail, Captain Eddie snagged a barracuda. And as we sailed into Salt Whistle Bay, I turned to Chef Holtz and asked, "Is barracuda good eating?" Well, apparently it is, but they're also high in mercury, so that barracuda lived to see another day. Now, Salt Whistle Bay on the island of Mairo is one of these places that is so special, and the simplicity of life is what makes it just one of a kind. This is the smallest inhabited island of the Grenadines, with a population of about 400 to 500 and approximately 50 structures on the island. The simplicity makes it just a very unique experience. The people of this island subsist mainly on tourism and fishing, and they spent days catching fresh seafood for the best beach party I've ever experienced. So why this trip? Why this experience? About a month after we visited, Hurricane Beryl came through and devastated many of the structures on this island. The team of Rhythm and Sales, including the participants, got to work raising money and sending care packages to help them get back on their feet and rebuild. And I know that this act of kindness went a long way. Now, I will often wear my Rhythm and Sales hat as a reminder of the kindness that they showed us and we showed them, and to bring some good island vibes along with me. I'd next like to take you to Appalachia. These are some of the oldest mountains in the world. They were once part of the same mountain chain as the Scottish Highlands and the Atlas Mountains in Africa. They run from Newfoundland in Canada southwestward to central Alabama in the United States. I'd specifically like to focus on western North Carolina. I grew up running around these mountains and just enjoy it so much. A couple of fun facts. Western North Carolina is home to the Biltmore Estate, the largest private residence in the United States. It's also home to the first school of forestry, founded in 1898. The Blue Ridge Parkway and the Great Smoky Mountains also call Western North Carolina home, and these are some of the most visited sites of the National Park Service. Pisgah National Forest is also in Western North Carolina. Founded in 1916, it's among some of the most visited of the national forests in the U.S. Mount Mitchell, the highest point east of the Mississippi, also calls Western North Carolina home. And last, the eastern band of the Cherokee Indians, with nearly 450,000 tribal citizens worldwide, call Western North Carolina home. Now, in 2012, I discovered the town of Brevard and Pisgah Forest while mountain biking, and in 2014, I was fortunate enough to be able to relocate and call this area home. A lot has changed since then, but one thing's for sure. With over 250 waterfalls, white squirrels, and being surrounded by state and national forests, there's no shortage of things to do. The simple way of life, small downtown, and real sense of community makes it so special. Now, what I also love is the various nonprofits that one can get involved in to help give back, including our local soup kitchen, the Bread of Life, the local Boys and Girls Club, and the various trail maintaining organizations that help keep our trails in tip-top shape. I've been fortunate to be able to be involved in many of these organizations, and it has been so rewarding. Now, there's nothing that tests the resilience of a community more than some type of devastating event or natural disaster. We experienced just that in September 2024, when Hurricane Helene came through the region, bringing massive flooding, which hadn't been seen since the Great Flood of 1916. Mass amounts of rain caused severe damage, flooding, power outages, communication outages, road damage, and it significantly impacted many throughout the region. To say it was chaos would probably be an understatement. I myself was without power for about 9 days, and the kindness of those that welcomed me into their home is something that I probably can't ever repay. Now, I did what I could to help out when and where I could. I helped at a local church. I helped with a local auction. I even was able to reconnect a misdelivered package to its owner, which contained emergency radios that they were able to use in their efforts. People near and far came and helped out when and where they could. And I know that help went a long way. Now, this pair of donated gloves I kept as a reminder of all the hard work that was done by myself and many others, and all the hard work that there is still to be done in our region. Kindness can take many forms. A kind word, eye contact or a smile to a stranger, paying it forward, hugs, helping that turtle cross the road, gratitude, patience, and compassion, opening your home to someone in need, telling someone you're proud of them or that you believe in them, and generosity by volunteering your time, expertise, financially, or in any other act of service. Show up with kindness to yourself, others, and the environment every day in every way, as you never know how that act of kindness will ripple outward. I believe we all have the ability to affect change with our words, thoughts, and actions. So I'll leave you with this. How will you contribute to the ripple effect of kindness?